Hi guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner. Today we're going to be creating with the Fresh Picked Buttercups. Yeah, this is from Spellbinders. This is part of the new collection for January 2024, and these are just lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and get busy die cutting, and then we're going to put together a card. Okay, so this is an easy but not kind of hard to create. So I'm using some pattern paper that I've got in my stash, kind of a pink lattice work to go behind it. And I'm going to follow the design that is actually on the packaging of this. So the way that the dies are designed is basically to cover your entire front of your card, or you can use bits and pieces. Last one I did similar to this, I did bits and pieces. This time I'm going to try to follow the instructions there. I also went ahead and cut it all out on one piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch cardstock. I think this one might be a little bit small, so it didn't go all the way. Anyway, I'm going to try to use that piece for a second card. So I've cut out 2 sets of the flowers. So let's go ahead and start adhering down all of our leafy bits. I've kind of laid them out according to what the design on the packaging is showing. So we are going to see how that works. And just adding some art glitter glue to the back. And I'm sure that I'm not going to get this exact, but it's going to be totally fine. It's going to be a bunch of flowers on the front of a card, and it's going to basically take up the entire front. So it's kind of like using a cover plate, but not quite, if you know what I mean. So first I'm going to put down all of the green, and then I'll start adding on my flowers. There we go. So you could also lay everything out and then grab out a piece of your press and seal and use that to get it all laid down. I wanted to be able to move it around a little bit if I needed to. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some foam. Yes, got to add my foam. Let's first put all of our bits down, and then we can decide. Yeah, then we can start adding all the foam on there, because everything still needs to fit inside that rectangle, right? And again, I'm just going by the design. These little guys I'm not too concerned with. I'll be able to figure those out. But these bigger flowers, I do have to make sure to look at the packaging to see exactly where they're supposed to go and which direction. So this one is supposed to go this way. But of course, if they happen to overlap anything, I'm not really that concerned. It's just going to overlap a little bit of the leaves, and that's fine. This is not a really organic. These aren't made to look realistic. Okay, and now I'm going to put a little bit of foam behind each of those flowers. So now I'm going to put the centers of all of my little flowers in. There's actually 2 layers, and I'm not really concerned about whether or not any of the glue shows through because it's going to dry clear. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it down straight on there. Okay, so now this one is ready to put on the front of a card. All we need is a sentiment. Next, I'll go ahead and get my second card ready. I'm just adding a bunch of glue to the back of that panel that I die cut all the other pieces out of, all of the green, and I'm going to adhere that down to the front of this pattern paper piece that I've got. Turns out that the pattern paper is a little bit small. That's okay. I'll just trim it down a little bit once I get done. So I was about to start putting some of the flowers down. I've already got foam on all the backs of them, and I've already started removing some. And I thought, you know, let's add a little bit more interest to this. I probably should have done this before gluing it down, but that's okay. I'm going to use the handwritten stamp set from Simon Hurley because I love this. This is just too cute, and I'm going to start using it more and more. And this time I'm going to just use some white pigment ink. This is some Hero Arts. And I'm just going to add some to the front of this just to add a little bit of interest to that panel before we put all of our solid color flowers down. Okay, let's take a look. That is going to be so fun. And because the undercolor, the light green, because it's light enough, you really only see all of the words on the dark green. This is going to look fabulous. Since this is a pigment ink, I'm just going to heat set that real quick so that I don't smudge it too much. So I'm putting the first one down onto a card base, and it's going to be full front, so I'm just covering the entire front of my card base with some liquid glue. Just lining it up with the edges and pressing that in place. There we go. And then for this one, I do have to trim it down a little bit. So I'm going to get out my paper trimmer. And we're going to cut off some from the top. So this one is going to be smaller than well, actually, I'm going to cut a little bit of each side. Okay. So just trimming it a little. I'm going to cut it right now. It looks like it's supposed to be at 5.5, which I'm not sure exactly how that managed to work, but I'm cutting off a little bit of it. And I put the flower on there first, so that it's going to look like it's going to be cut off the edge. And it looks like I do need to cut off a little bit more. So I'm going to cut it to the edge of my pattern paper. Okay, so now we've got kind of that off the edge kind of look going on. And then let's see, right now, well, let's go ahead and trim a little bit off the bottom as well. I'm going to cut this down to 5.5. Yep, cutting through those flowers, which means I'm also going to cut this part down to 4 inches. So I'm going to trim a little bit off of both sides, so that it's going to be down to 4 inches. That's going to give us our 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay, I do have a little bit of my cardstock popping up here, so I need to glue that back down. Okay, this one's going to be right in that corner. There we go. And then I'm going to adhere this one down onto another A2 size card base. This time, though, leaving a little bit of a white border all the way around. There we go. So I went into my sentiment stash. I've got a binder that I've been putting my extras that I create over time. that I don't use. And I pulled out a couple of these. These are actually done on my computer. I printed these out and then hot foil these using a laser printer. And I will do a video soon having to do with how to create your own designs using your laser printer and hot foil. And I'm going to add some foam to the back of both of these. I think it's going to fit right nicely right about here. And adding a little bit of foam is going to bring it up to the level of those flowers. And I'll do the first one. I'll do this one first and then see if I need to add or take away any foam. Actually, I think that's going to be just about right, but I do need a little bit of foam on those two ends, and then I can trim off the excess because it looks like it's going to go over the edge of our panel. Okay. Go ahead and trim that off right about there. And then add a little bit of foam on this end. There we go. And that gives us two lovely cards using the Fresh Picked Buttercups die set from Spellbinders. I think these turned out really pretty. I would love it if you guys would let me know which one is your favorite. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually liking this one, which was kind of an afterthought. I like it better. So yeah. Anyway, let me know which one you like better down in the comments. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share it with your crafty buddies. You guys have a wonderful day. Check out the playlist here to see some more videos where I'm using Spellbinders products, and I will talk to you soon. Bye guys.